In this video we will talk about the musical intervals that we use in the Western music. As you know, we have 12 notes and 7 names from them: C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Okay, and then we have the alteration of the notes. We have the flat note and the sharp note. So the intervals are the difference, the length of distance between the two notes. For example, from the C to D, we have a second because we have to count how many notes there are one from another. So we have C, D, so 2. We have a second, but we can have a D flat, a D or D sharp. So we can have different intervals between the notes because we have also to check how many half tones there are between one another. So from C to D we have 2 half tones, so is a second major. We can have different names. We have a minor intervals, a major, augmented, double augmented, or diminished, or double diminished. Why all these names? Because we have just 7 names for 12 notes. Okay, so when we are talking about composition, it can be very tricky. If we change the key, it can happen that it will come out like a E sharp or something like this. So there are 2 different kind of intervals. We have the second, the third, the sixth, and the seventh that can be minor or major, and then augmented, double augmented, diminished, and double diminished. Instead, we can have the first, the fourth, the fifth, and the seventh that are called perfect or diminished, double diminished, augmented, or double augmented. Okay? These are the names. The intervals can go up or down. For example, if you go up we have the interval from C to E, okay, it's a third. If we go to C to E down, is a sixth. Okay, we have always to count. How do we count? We count just the nominal part of the notes. So we take for example, the major scale of C. And from C to G, we have C, D, E, F, G. So it's a fifth. And then we have to check one of these names because we have to check how many half tones there are. Okay? So let's try to learn some of them. For example, we talk about the second major, C, D. So what is a second minor instead? The second minor is C, D flat, okay? Because there is just one half tone between the 2 notes, okay? It's very important when we count that for the nominal part we have to count from the note that we start. So C, D, it's 1, 2. Instead, if we count the half tones, for example, on the fret of the guitar, we have to count just the fret of difference. Okay, so from C to D flat, there is just 1 fret, and we count it's a second minor because it's just 1 fret. Okay, so this part we count also the name, this part instead just the half tones. Okay, so we have, for example, the second can be this is the box that we have to learn the minimal part, because then we can try to find all the others. Okay, there are the second minor, second major, third minor, third major, fourth perfect, tritone, fifth perfect, sixth minor, sixth major, seventh minor, seventh major, and octave. So how do we can find the diminished or the augmented? It's very easy. For example, we have to go from one note to the other. So, for example, we can see that we have a C, and then we have a interval of second double augmented. What does it mean? From the C we have to go to D, okay? Because it's a second. And then we have to add how many frets there are. So for every movement we have to add an additional fret. So from major to augmented it's 1, so it's a D sharp, and then double augmented we put 2 sharps. Exactly. This is the very difficult part of this of the intervals. We can find something like this. Okay. The same for the diminished and the double diminished. We take away, okay? So it's not so important to know the intervals of the frets, the half tones of the others. It's very important just to know this one, the basic one, and then we can find the others by counting, okay? So it's important to start by knowing just some of them. It's important to know the fourth, the fifth, and for me also the third one. The third one also if we play the bass. Then the others will come by little by little. And little by little we will start to memorize all of this. In some instruments, we will see in another video, it's very easier than others to know the intervals because it's very, very easy to find them on for example on the keyboard of the guitar. You can memorize some movements and you have all the intervals. So what do we need these intervals? It's very important when we do composition, but also for check something that we don't really know. For example, if we have a chord with a ninth in the name, what does it mean? That we have to add a ninth. So we have to add a ninth interval. So what does it mean? For example, the C with his 9, it means that we have to go on the other octave and add another note. So the D. But notice D here. This D that comes over here, okay? So it's higher. And so if I don't know how to create the chord, I can say, okay, it's a C with a 9, so I put this note, and can I find, without knowing the position, by thinking a little bit, I can find it. Or also when we have to create the chords. For example, if we have a third major, what does it mean? That we have to find the chord, the notes of the chord, and with that we can find the exact notes, and we put the chord in the chord inside. In some instruments like the guitar, it's very easy because sometimes you have just to move by one fret the position of the hand. But in some cases it can be a little bit trickier, so we can find all of this. This is also very important when we have to learn a little bit to recognize the notes. In the other videos we will see that every single intervals we can put some we can put we can link a song, so we recognize every single intervals with a song, and then we are able to play by ourselves the song on the guitar. Okay. For this video was everything. See ya.